We're seeing memory issues in our Python service in production. Walk me through how you would identify a memory leak and what tools you would use to diagnose it. We have a critical N+1 query problem causing slow API responses. How would you detect it, and what are the different ways to fix it depending on the ORM being used? Our async service occasionally deadlocks under high concurrency. How do you reason about async and await patterns to prevent deadlocks? And how would you debug one in production? We're designing a new service and debating between PostgreSQL and DynamoDB. Walk me through how you would make that decision, including the trade-offs you would consider. Our REST API is suddenly experiencing 10 times normal traffic, and response times are degrading. What is your step-by-step approach to identifying and resolving the bottleneck? Our React application has serious rendering performance issues. Walk me through how you would profile the app and what optimizations you would apply. We're getting CORS errors in production, but not in development. What are the possible causes, and how would you systematically debug this? We're building a content-heavy site and debating between server-side rendering, static generation, and client-side rendering. How do you decide which strategy to use for different parts of the application? Our Kubernetes pods are crash looping in production. Walk me through how you would diagnose the issue using logs, metrics, and describe events. Our database connection pool is exhausted and the service is down. What is your immediate response, and how would you redesign the connection management to prevent recurrence? Someone manually modified infrastructure managed by Terraform, causing state drift. How do you safely reconcile the Terraform state with the actual infrastructure? We're seeing intermittent timeout errors between microservices. How would you use distributed tracing to pinpoint the root cause? A SQL injection vulnerability has been discovered in our codebase. Walk me through your response from immediate mitigation to permanent fix. Our JWT implementation has a flaw in refresh token handling. Can you describe a secure refresh token rotation strategy and what edge cases to watch out for? A zero-day vulnerability has been announced in a critical open-source library we use. Walk me through your risk assessment and response process. Can you explain how a reentrancy attack works in Solidity? Show me what vulnerable code looks like and describe the correct pattern to prevent it. We need to optimize gas costs in our smart contract. What are the most impactful code level changes you would make, and how do you measure the improvement? Our DeFi protocol is being front-run by bots. Can you explain how front-running works in the mempool and what mitigation strategies exist, including their trade-offs? Our machine learning model's accuracy has degraded significantly in production over the past 2 weeks. How do you detect data drift, and what triggers would you set up for automatic retraining? We built a RAG system, but retrieval quality is poor. Walk me through how you would improve it, from chunking strategy to embedding model selection to re-ranking. Our LLM-powered feature is hallucinating frequently in a domain where accuracy is critical. What architectural and prompt engineering approaches would you use to reduce hallucinations? We're building a multi-tenant SaaS. Walk me through the different data isolation strategies, from shared schema to separate databases, and when you would choose each. We're adopting event-driven architecture. How do you guarantee message ordering and idempotency across distributed consumers? Our caching layer is causing cache stampede problems during traffic spikes. How would you redesign the caching strategy to prevent this? We deployed a new release and error rates spiked immediately. What are your rollback decision criteria? And how would you design a canary release to catch this earlier? We need to migrate a monolith to microservices without any downtime. Walk me through the strangler fig pattern and how you would sequence the migration. We're breaking up a monolith and need to decide which services to extract first. What criteria do you use to prioritize the decomposition? You find a critical security vulnerability in a pull request submitted by a senior engineer who is known to be defensive about feedback. How do you handle the code review? A project has 90% test coverage, but bugs keep slipping into production. What does that tell you, and how would you redesign the testing strategy? You're being pressured to ship a feature by a hard deadline, but you know the implementation has significant technical debt that will cause problems later. How do you navigate this?